till it's cool, just cool, into the mouth. Nice. It was great. Really great. Really good. Great. Really great. Oh, in the mouth. It was lovely. Waste of money. What's that? Oh, yeah. Lift the jug and drink a bit. Oh, this is good. This is peach syrup, tinned peach syrup. What a drink. So I drank the lot. Wonderful.
You can't do it dirty. You gotta do it clean. And here's how. This stuff, right here, this stuff, this is the good stuff, the right stuff.
How's it going? Welcome back, my beautiful sinners, to another great video here on the Savior Show. Oh yes, we're gonna hunt down some vegetables today. We're gonna hunt down some giant-ass Pokemon, because today I'm gonna give you my Wild Hearts game review. Now, this is a brand new Monster Hunter game in some ways, okay? This is the best alternative to the Monster Hunter franchise that we have ever seen. Wild Hearts comes from the same developers who made Dynasty Warriors, and if you've ever played Dynasty Warriors before, you will know it's a crazy-ass game, okay? It's not for everyone, it's not my personal cup of tea, I've got to be honest, but if you like, tons and tons of enemies and frantic combat and just, over-the-top combat. If you've ever had a fantasy of being like an overpowered anime samurai character like in Demon Slayer or whatever it's called, then you can't get any closer. Then Wild Hearts is the game for you, because the combat in this is just over-the-top insane. It's bombastic. It's Luigi. Take a normal hack and slash game and grab yourself a psychedelic toad and just spread open those butt cheeks, okay? Get to those juicy gland points and just slurp it up, and you've got yourself Wild Hearts. What makes Wild Hearts different is you can basically craft these structures and you can just perform all kinds of crazy maneuvers with these different platforms that you can build and create yourself. I'm going to get into that more later in the video. I'm going to give you the positives and I'm going to give you the negatives, okay? I just try and tell you how it is. I don't give you a stupid bullshit score at the end of it because it's down to the individual. But, this isn't my type of game per se, but I do appreciate some of the cool mechanics in this, and even for someone like me, who's not a massive Monster Hunter fan or, a Dynasty Warriors fan, this game is still very surprising to me because Wild Hearts adds so many cool mechanics into the gameplay formula, and I just love when game developers are trying something new and creative. It's nice to know that not all game developers are copying Ubisoft and the boring Western style approach to modern day gaming development. And of course, this being a Japanese studio, they just go batshit insane with the combat. If you do find yourself enjoying the video, I would appreciate a like and maybe consider subscribing. That would mean so much to me. You have no idea. It takes 2 seconds, literally a click of a button for you, but it makes my day. It means so much to me. Join the empire today. I'm trying to build a media empire so we can take down the dirty corporate establishment and legacy media. So the first positive of Wild Hearts is it's not an open world game. Basically, you get open zones, and I'm sure that the Wild Hearts reviews are going to be very, very biased in saying this is just copying Monster Hunter, but to be honest, I think it does have its own strong DNA, and in many ways it does a much better job of the Monster Hunter formula than the original Monster Hunter itself, which is quite a thing to say. Because I did actually enjoy the Monster Hunter games when I was growing up. I played it a lot on the PSP and stuff like that, and they are fun. I just find them a bit repetitive, but the amount of gameplay mechanics shoved into Wild Hearts just keeps this more engaging, if you ask me. The base formula does stay pretty much the same, where you go out on hunts, You collect the parts of the monsters that you slay, you collect resources, and you use those resources that you collect basically to upgrade your gear, your weapons, and your armor, basically building these crazy armor designs which look badass. So now onto my first negative of this Wild Hearts game review, and that is the story mode / the cutscenes are very boring. It's badly written, it's badly acted, and let's be honest, these types of games aren't supposed to be about the story, aren't supposed to be about the world or the lore or anything like that. It's supposed to be about fun gameplay, and that's where the attention is, and that's what makes this a good game. But if you want something that's gripping narrative-wise, or, interesting and cool cutscenes and stuff like that, then you're not going to get that with this game. And since I'm talking about the negatives, I'm just going to list a few more negatives that I find with Wild Hearts, and that is, it does feel rather unpolished. And what I mean by that is the graphics. I'm not a graphics person, but in today's standards, you don't really have an excuse to make a bad looking game anymore. From an artistic direction, I think it's great, okay? But from the graphical point of view, this is like one of the most dated games I think I've ever seen in a very long time. The textures are just absolutely abysmal. Sometimes it looks like you're playing an early PS3 game, or, something from the Xbox 360. I don't know why everything is so low detail. I guess because they just want high refresh rate. But to be honest, it does take you out of the experience, because it just feels kind of lazy that they made a game look this bad, considering it's, the next generation of games, which is kind of crazy if you ask me. But this is a much worse offender, and that is the camera, okay? The camera in this game is goddamn terrible. It's so janky and so bad, okay? I just can't get past this. This is a massive issue, and they need to fix it. There are so many times when you're fighting a big boss, and because they're so big, they take up a lot of the screen, and your field of view isn't exactly massive here. If they made it a little bit more big, maybe then it would correct the issue. But the problem is, when you're fighting the boss and you get chucked around, like in Dragon's Dogma or something, there's a lot of movement in this combat. It's not stationary. So you will always, get behind the enemy. You will get behind an object like a tree or some rocks or something like that. And the camera just bugs out, and you get this, silhouette version of yourself, so you don't actually lose track of where you are. But it just feels, I don't know, just sloppy, and a lot of the time you're just wrestling with the camera itself, and it's just like pushing you into the floor or into the sky or into the foliage. It's just not that great, if you ask me. And the final negative, and then I can get into all of the great positives, and there's a lot of positives in this game, but I'm just being honest with you, because I don't like consumers wasting their money on pre-orders. You should never pre-order games, because that is what's destroying the industry. I've said that so many times. Never pre-order games, because the gaming industry as it stands right now, it is a con. You can see, not just with the industry itself, with the developers, falsely advertising their games with fake marketing strategies, microtransactions, and, all of these greedy practices of early access and just releasing games that aren't finished or aren't polished, and then they expect you to pay full price and then wait 6 months for it to actually be the game that they promised. That's bullshit, okay? That's not how the gaming industry used to be, but it is what it is today, and I'm completely against it. It's just not just gaming, it's media, it's the corporations behind media. They want to make you consumer slaves, consume this product and then go and buy and consume next product, okay? That's what they want from you. So be smart with your money, vote with your money, and don't pre-order games unless if it's something truly, wonderful, and the people behind it care a lot about it, they put a lot of time into it, and it's an actual finished product, because that's how we live in this consumer-based society of everything feeling rushed, and basically, never actually appreciating something that you have, because there's a constant battle just to consume the next thing, and everything just feels shit because of it, because they aren't taking the time that they need to actually make something good. I'm sorry about that little rant, but, it means a lot to me, so just don't pre-order games. Thank you very much. I also just want to say, don't get offended if someone you know, talks bad about a game that you like or a piece of art that you like, it's pathetic, okay? Whenever a new game comes out, there are so many like little soy boy defenders of a product that they haven't even played. It's not a good idea to attach your identity onto products like this. That's all I have to say. Be based, and like I said, join the Empire today. Subscribe if you want someone who keeps it real. If you don't like my takes, then, you know, leave. I don't give a shit. Oh, there's a few hot takes coming in from Savior today, boys. Well, let's now get on to the good stuff. The right stuff. That gamer gunk, okay? Let's talk about the positives in this Wild Hearts review. My review of Wild Hearts. How many times do I have to say that, YouTube algorithm? So, if you like boss gauntlets, this game is going to be like a wet dream. The bosses in this are so creative, so cool. I love the art style of them, and they always actually have, you know, like transformation mid-fight. They always have like a different phase, which is great, okay? If you like games like Elden Ring, if you love the boss basses, if you like if you like the boss battles in Elden Ring and stuff like that, games like that, then you're going to enjoy this because it is challenging, but not to the same degree, of course, but it is still challenging. The boss battles alone is what makes this game worth it, in my opinion, because they are engaging, they actually make you think, they don't just sit around, they are on you like a goddamn predator, okay, and it's great, and you never know what to expect because they have so many different moves. So yeah, I think the boss battles in this are great, and if you like boss gauntlets, then you're gonna enjoy this. Another thing that I do like is there is a layer of tactics when it comes to Wild Hearts, because before you fight a boss, you can study it, just like you would in Monster Hunter, you know, for weaknesses that it has, for strengths that it has, and you can, you know, customize your character around that so you can get the best possible fight. I know all games have that to some degree, but in games like Wild Hearts or Monster Hunter, that is the main mechanic, because you really have to think about how to take down this boss, its weak points. So in Wild Hearts you actually have 8 different weapon types, and they basically act as different classes, and this gives you a lot of player choice when it comes to, you know, your play style. And I really do enjoy games that offer you a lot of different choice when it comes to how you want to play the game, and out of these 8 weapons, you will find something that fits your style. And another positive, like I said before, is I do love the world design, the art direction of Wild Hearts. The creature designs especially are just amazing. It's just the graphics that I have a problem with. But the thing that makes this actually a good game, okay, is the crafting mechanic. The way in which you can create structures. You can make, you know, boxes, you can create this little spring thing that jumps you across the map. You can create this little structure that, you know, just spews out fire everywhere. You can have a little glider that you can glide around, kind of like Ratchet and Clank or something, which makes you able to, you know, climb up mountains, get on top of bosses, stuff like that. And of course, boxes, okay? You can craft boxes. So why I love this, okay? Because you would think crafting something mid-fight, I don't know, I've never been a fan of that. To me, it just takes me out of the game. It kind of loses immersion, and it just looks kind of, I don't know, a little bit like a soy boy kind of game, like Fortnite or something. But this actually is fun because you can engage with the bosses in so many different ways now. You can engage with the environment around you. You know, I always talk about how player movement is so boring. It's either running, or you're on a vehicle, or you're on a horse. It's always the same bullshit. But with this, you have so many ways to navigate the map, and then in combat, you have so many ways to actually navigate and tackle the enemy. I love this, okay? This is what we need. We need new gameplay mechanics, and Wild Hearts, I didn't expect this game to actually add this many cool mechanics, because I thought it would just be a Monster Hunter clone, to be honest. But you can mix and match these different structures, like a box with a spring, or, you know, you can basically create a massive wall if you put enough boxes down, or you can create like a hammer trap to actually trap the monster, and then you can get in there close and just finish it off with a final blow. Stuff like that is what makes this interesting and engaging, because no fight will ever be the same. And I just think that is great, and Wild Hearts did a great job of making the gameplay interesting and fresh. even if the other things fall behind because of it, like the graphics, like the story, like the cutscenes, like the camera being an absolute menace. And the final negative that I have is there is so much clipping in this game, which just, I mean, it's like they don't care about making it polished, which is a shame. You know, they were just so eager to get these cool ideas out on, you know, paper, in which everything kind of feels a bit floaty and just slightly off, which is a shame, because if it was all tight, then this would be, you know, probably one of the best games of this year. So yeah, it's just sad that they kind of fell behind on some of the things, but the core gameplay stuff is what makes Wild Hearts good. And yeah, that is my game review of Wild Hearts. I do think it's a good game, but it's down to you as a player if this sounds appealing to you, or if you think it's too unpolished or the combat style isn't what interests you, then I would look elsewhere. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, my wonderful, wonderful sinners. Like I said, make sure you do join the channel. I hope you did enjoy this video. It means a lot to me if you do subscribe. Like I said, that does make a massive difference. And consider checking out my music on Spotify. And go back and check out my other videos. You won't be disappointed. And I'll catch you in the next video. Tomorrow, I'm going to publish basically talking about the Hogwarts Legacy drama, because I have a lot to say around the social issues on that. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.